Hope you're having a great day today. It is Monday. Happy Monday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going. I'm up and ready to take on my Monday. Are you ready for like a cleanup? Get things done. It's been one of those. The weekend, what do we do this weekend? What was the weekend even entailing? I had to think, like, what do we even do this weekend? The kids had some friends over. So Greg and I hung out. We swam in the pool all day. It was like overcast and kind of blah for the day. And then we cooked some burgers on the grill and some corn on the cob and had a good dinner. And then it was like, we ended up watching Peter Santinella. He had a couple different videos that we hadn't watched for a little bit. So we watched those. And then it was like one of those nights where like, okay, went to sleep and then got up the next day and it was like the long day of rain. So we have, I think Florida this week has just a washout of rain. Like the tropical depression is starting to form. Tropical depression means one thing, rain. That's all it means. It means rain, rain, rain. So I'm like, I'm not worried about a hurricane. I'm not worried about any of that stuff or where I'm at, but it's just the rain factor. So it's a whole lot of rain going on this week. So it also puts a damper on like it's 4th of July week. So I'm not sure. I don't think we'll be able to get to see fireworks. It looks like they're gonna have like a good foot of rain in some areas, a foot of rain in towards the end of the week. But you know, all that can change. The wind can decide to blow a different direction, or we'll see how it is. But I was like, but you know what rain does? It just gives you, I feel like even the hot sun is nice. You can go outside in it, but it still gives you time being in the house. Like back in Michigan, like it was nice being out all those years, and even in mountains too, like, you know, through the seasons, being out, go in the parks, you want to be outside doing stuff. And then when it got cold, it's kind of like you were stuck inside for a little bit. So I know in Michigan it's longer, and I like look forward to that, like reprieve, like, okay, I'm going to start on new projects. I'm going to start on this, or it just gave you something to look forward to doing, like you wanted to get done. Like here in Florida, it's just warm all the time. So it's like, you want to be outside all the time. You don't really want to be missing out when you're inside working. You're like, it's so nice out. I should be in the pool right now. Or the kids are in the pool. And I'm like, I really should be in the pool upstairs working, but the pool looks inviting. So the rain gives you the opportunity to work. That's how you sum it up here. So, and then it waters everything, gives it, you know, all the kids, fills your pool too full, all those good things it does. But it gives me the opportunity to start to work on things. So I'm working on my other cookbook. I'm doing our family favorite cookbook. I wrote this one to get most all our recipes for like my older set of kids. I say my older set, my younger set. They're the same family, but we just had a break in between, like 5 years with no kids. And so the older set was more used to these recipes, okay? And we've been making these since beginning of time. Now my newer set, we make some of these recipes, but we make so much more, or a lot, not so much more, but just different ones. And so and then the complaint I've heard from my children, like, this is good, and they are good, but they're like, Mom, it's such a big amount. I gotta like scale everything down. So I have time now because of the rain. So I'm scaling down a new cookbook with my recipes here to like 2 people. So that when my set that, you know, Jaden's out, Brooke will move out, you know, she'll be on her way out eventually here, and then it's like autumn. It's like they're gonna be one after the other. So they, when they're out on their own, cooking for 2 people, 1 person, is a whole lot different than just like looking at it and going, oh my goodness, how much do you even put in there, Mom? So that is what I'm working on. So I'm excited for that. But then it makes me like, I sat there yesterday and worked, and I was like, I kept coming down and talking to kids. I'm like, all right, here's my list for breakfast. Here's my list for lunches. Here's my list for dinners. I'm like, what else is there? And it's like, it's hard to think. And then when you get done with it, you're like, oh, I forgot this. I know when I wrote this cookbook, there was like over the next couple months as I was doing recipes, I was like, oh, I completely forgot about such and such. So I started making like a little notepad in my phone to remind myself to add it to my new one. Well, then I've done new ones, the Homemaker table, which you can get I have all my books linked below. So the new one, I put some of the newer recipes like the breadsticks and the bagels, because I didn't do any of that before. I tried them, but it was just, bread making was not my forte when I was having 10 kids, because that's a lot. But I enjoy doing it now. And so we do a lot more of that and a lot more just different things. And so anyways, I wanted to add a lot of those recipes to a new cookbook. So, and then this one I made hard copy and color, because I wanted it for myself. I wanted it for my kids. Well, this is a lot on Amazon because it's color. It's all color inside. It's got, you know, pictures. So you have to pay for the printing, unfortunately. So then I made a small down version of it, but it's just a lot lighter and smaller to see. So I'm like, let me revise and make this a whole lot better. So I'm going through it. I'm like, not putting recipes that we don't use, like Jello pear salad. Like, we haven't made that. We used to make that all the time. It was a staple in this cookbook. It was Stephen's favorite dish. Every single time I make it the last little while, no one likes it. No one likes it. So I'm like, you know what? Jello pear salad is not going in the new cookbook. So it was scaling down of like, okay, what do we actually like? What do we not? Which is good. So it just makes for different things in there. So that is why rain is good here in Florida, because it forces me to like, because either you sit at home, you sit in your bedroom and you scroll on your phone and you do whatever. So this way it forces you to do something. So I'm excited. That is what I'm working on up there. So that has been that was a lot of my time yesterday. And then we watched an episode of The Chosen. Jensen and he's my Chosen watcher. And so we watched one episode. We decided to say we were gonna watch all 3, but we watched one. And I'm like, okay, then we'll watch the one today, and then we'll watch another one maybe on Sunday. So spread it out a little bit. So it was good. It was just a good day. And the kids when I went to bed, the kids were down here watching. They like watching like different, I don't know, trivia videos like on YouTube. So it was like they put a paragraph up of a different language, and then you'd have to guess what the language is. They're like, here, Mom, let's see how cultured you are. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not cultured. So I didn't do very good, but they were really good at things. So it was just good. So it was just a good night. And then Greg and I watched a couple of videos before we went to bed, just like the weather, we watched the weather. We're older, we're 50. Sat in bed and listened to the weather, what it was going to be this week, and a washout, because we're kind of planning like fireworks. We went to the one last year in Siesta Key. Amazing. Probably one of the best fireworks experiences, I guess is the word, where it was like on the beach. Siesta Key Beach was America's #1 beach, and the waves and the breeze coming up and just sitting there and watching fireworks. And there was like thousands of people. We were away from the people, which is, we always find the reprieve from everybody, but it was amazing. It was so much fun, but there was just a lot of people. So it's just, you can't get away from it here in Florida. There's people everywhere. So we were thinking this year, why don't we go? Because we know what the fireworks look like. They're awesome and amazing. Those are probably one of the best in the area. So then we were thinking of going down to Venice, which is our shark tooth hunting place that we like to go. And then, because we're thinking ahead to parking, because you got to pay for parking everywhere. It's 90. I think we paid 80 last year to park in a random parking lot. It wasn't even like a place near it. We had to walk forever. So most of the areas, it's paid parking, obviously, and you got to find where at. But on Venice, I remember, and I'm thinking you get stuck. So if you go on the island, like if you go on Longboat Island or Anna Maria Island, where we love to go to that beach, there's only 2 bridges. One off the island, off the key, and on the key. So you would be stuck forever in traffic, which we have many times. So we're thinking like Venice might be nice, because it's more of like, it's on the coast, but there's like a whole town. There's different places to park. So I don't know. That's on the list. But in reality, Greg said maybe we'll just go and get ourselves a bunch of fireworks and kind of shoot them off in between the weather. So I don't know. So we're gonna see. But regardless, we are hurricane ready and rain ready. Regardless, we got all our food, so we're good to go. Just gotta get gasoline for our generator. That's something we need. But so that's how life is. That's it with the rain here in Florida. So it gives me opportunity to work on things, do that kind of stuff. But then today it's like, okay, I got things to do. I still have some things for school. I've got one more child that's got to finish up their school stuff. So I'm hoping maybe this week, today, I can do that. I've got Jane's food this week to take to her. It's her birthday this week. Tomorrow is her birthday. It's already, July 1st is tomorrow. Isn't that crazy? The time is flying, is it not? It is. And so her birthday is tomorrow. So I don't know if she's even home tomorrow. I got to find that out today, because I've got all her food for her. So I got to take her big box of meat. Here's your birthday present. I'm just kidding. I got other things for her too. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do it today. We'll just see how the weather and life and everything goes on. I'm going to stop yapping. That's what I do here, is talk away. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. And that's the difference about my channel and everybody else. Some people will come on and just show you how to make something, show you how to clean, show you how to make bread, which we're going to do today, and bagels and all those things. But I'm more about, hey, let me show up with my cup of coffee. Let me share with you my weekend. And then let's talk about this. Let me tell you about this, how I'm feeling. Let me tell you about this. And then, you know what? Let's get moving. Okay. Even though it's boring, even though we're doing the same thing, I got to wash the same dishes I've washed all week. I've got to wipe the same counters up. They're not that bad. We shouldn't put them in the dishwasher. We got to clean up. We got to wash bedding. We got to do laundry. We got to make food, yada, 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 all the things that we do all the time. But you know what? We're going to do it together, and we're going to get moving, and we're going to move forward. That's for my channel here. So if you are encouraged and motivated to get moving, you guys ready? You got a list for today? You got your list or in your head at least, of things you want to do? Me too. All right, let's have a beautiful, wonderful Monday getting things done. So you ready? All right, let's go. Okay, we didn't really get this weekend since it was so rainy. We were inside. I had lots more time in between to put dishes away. And so, because my kids are not here all the time, everybody's kind of in and out with friends. So I don't require them to do chores when their friends are here. That's just not me. Everybody has their opinions. I just don't. So I did a lot of it. So this is just from yesterday's meals, like after church and came home and we just kind of ate things up, and we didn't even make anything. What do we even make this week? We made burgers. I cooked burgers on the grill. We put the corn out there. I still had a sweet potato from our from my meal from Miss Barbara at the Longhorn Steakhouse, and then I was just thinking we did club sandwiches as well on Friday. The kids made club sandwiches and got that done. So it was kind of like sandwiches. It was sandwiches. It was easy. This whole month, I've got a whole different plan for food. I'm like, you know what? It's turning to that hot. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind doing those things, but I'm in between, like everybody in and out and not always here. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to focus on a lot of sandwiches, a lot of easy things, and that's okay. That's what you do right now in Florida. So that's where our focus is. So most of this, and then Miss Barbara sent them ramen. The kids were so excited. They're like, Mom, after today, they're like, I've already had macaroni and cheese and burgers. They're like, can we have ramen? I'm like, yes, you can have ramen. We call it our ramen Sunday. It's the mom's day off. So they eat their ramen. She gave them nice bowls of ramen. They were very thankful for that. Very sweet to do that. It was like, it showed up at the door and Steve was like, oh my goodness. He's like, they will deliver ramen to your house. I'm like, yeah, they'll deliver ramen to your house. Very sweet. So that was so nice. So they ate a lot of that yesterday. So not much. I'll just load the dishwasher and turn it on, get it rolling while we're working on everything else here. So, which is a good thing. Okay, I haven't been a Scrub Mommy fan for a little bit of time here. Now, I remember when Scrub Mommy and Scrub Daddy, or Scrub Mommy I think came out first, and I used the sponge for the first time. It reminded me of an Amish sponge. There was one I had gotten back in Michigan, and I used it forever and ever and ever, and I was like, this is the best sponge ever. But you couldn't buy it online. It was something I got at the store specifically, and then Scrub Mommy came out, and I'm like, wow, and I'm like, I wonder if that's a take on the Amish sponge. But I know Scrub Mommy and Scrub Daddy are huge. I get it, all those things. But in reality, your sponge still gets yucky. It still gets yucky. You still have to replace it. So before Scrub Mommy and Scrub Daddy, there was blue Scotch Brite sponges. And that's what I grew up using. Used them forever. And I'm like, do they work just as good? And we've just been sucked into the whole Scrub Mommy, Scrub Daddy phenomena, because I got a whole entire pack of the blue sponges for it was still, I don't even know, there's 24 or something in the pack. It's a huge pack from Walmart or Sam's Club. And it was less than the Scrub Mommy pack of 6 that I have to buy every few months. And so I'm like, I'm going to see. I don't know. Again, will it work? Will I switch over? We'll see. It's one of those things you got to get used to because you've been using the big, thick sponge for a while. So now I have to acclimate back to the smaller one. But I feel like it's going to be just fine. Are we just duped by society and influencers who use them? Ha ha ha. So we'll see. But I went back to blue ones. That's what I decided to get this time. So that ended up showing. That was one of my Sam's Club orders that showed up late. Was that and my Hugs drinks for our hurricane stash, and that was it. So. Is anybody else in between working, listening for the washer to end and the dryer to end? That's me. I'm like, oh, that's done. And I'm like, but I gotta move my camera and sit up on my bed. I'm like, I'll just pull the sheets off. So, I had to throw laundry, and I've been washing bedding and towels that were out of. Okay, let's go back to the kitchen. And now we are gonna wipe everything down. Oh, great new song I found. It's called Seed of Faith by Charity Gale. Oh, go check it out. It's a beautiful song. It's one of my new favorites. I always have, hold on, I got copyright marked, but it's called Seed of Faith by Charity Gale. I always have, for the most part, what I'm listening to. I have a My Favorites playlist on here, and so it's all of worship songs and praise songs and just different things during different times in my life. And so I have had it, how long has it been? It's been 10 years. I believe I started, well, it's probably the date, but I'm gonna say 10 years ago. So we moved into the mountains. We were going to our old church for the first time. So Stephen would have been like 4-ish, and he is 12, so about 8 years, I guess, is when I started it. And so I remember the songs because the first songs in the playlist are ones that I remember listening to when we went to that church, and different things with my kids where, you know, they had different open mics, different things. We had different music on there. So, but for them, it's all Christian music, but on there. So this has been, and sometimes I add it to the end instead of the beginning. And so sometimes there's newer stuff at the end. You're like, that doesn't make sense just because I added it wrong. But Seed of Faith, that's a beautiful song. I love that song. Charity Kale is a great singer, and many songs over the years I've listened to and just spoke to me during a different time. But this is a powerful song, very powerful. So it's on loop today for me. So, all right, let's clean up. Okay, for the most part, everything's cleaned up. So now I'm gonna fill out my coffees here and get that filled. I got Mavericks coffee I've been using, great value. Works great for $5 coffee. This is really good. Oh, I'm not a coffee person who likes coffee, but I can tell the difference between certain kinds where I'm like, yuck, I don't like the sweetness of that one, this and that. And so this has been a good mix. And then Mavericks coffee, they're awesome. They're a home-based business, and so they have a family and beautiful, and they sent me a box of their coffee, and it's very good. What's great about it is low acid coffee, so it's easy on your stomach. So you ever drink this sometimes and you're like, okay, you can only limit yourself? You can drink pots of this because it doesn't have that acid part of it. So this is really good. So we opened up churro this weekend and jelly donut. So I'm like, okay, and now they sent me like a bunch of them. I'll go through them when I open them. But churro's really good. Jelly donut, in my head, I'm like, it's that fruity coffee to me is good. Like blueberry coffee is very good. And then I used to have an apple creamer, I think, that they used to sell. And it was very good. And blueberry creamer, which, you know, I love that as well. And so I'm like, okay, jelly donut would have that too, because it would be like that fruity, but it would have like the donut part of it. So it's, again, they have ones like the blueberry cinnamon. I think it's blueberry cinnamon. I have that one. They also have one, they say it's more local, and it is bacon, like a bacon. It's a maple bacon. And I'm like, she said they sell more of that just localized, but that was actually not bad because it gives you like that good, it's not like it tastes like bacon, but it does in a sense. It's like that morning wake up with bacon and stuff. So always good things. Their business, they are a small-based business and wonderful family. So if you want some good coffee, you want some extra special coffee, like this is good coffee. Like this is good. Like I'll drink this. But you want some like good coffee? Just have some Mavericks coffee. I'll link it below. Go over to their website. They've like expanded way since the beginning of doing my channel, way 10 times over, and so they've got like just a variety of stuff. So go check them out over there. So thank you, Kelly, for sending coffee. Happy to share. I know a lot of you guys get it for special occasions, and you know, it's good to get even special. If you can buy regular all the time, but sometimes it's nice to buy like as a gift and stuff like that to give to people because it's just a little bit better coffee. So we're gonna do the churro and the jelly donut one. I think we're gonna mix up. Let me get some more See, Greg and I will go in the pool and then we'll start chatting and yapping. And like, it's almost like I forget, like, hey, we have a coffee pot on our, oops. I'm gonna have to pour it because those are wet. It's like I have a coffee pot on my Keurig, and I'm like, I forget, I need to use that because otherwise we go through a gazillion of these little ones. And I'm like, if we're drinking the same amount of coffee and going to have it, we might as well make a pot of it. But it's one of those things you're like, just grab one cup, and then, you know, you're like, yeah, I'll have another one. This is good. I can smell the jelly coming out of this. So let me just fill these up. These I get on Amazon. Some of you asked. The purple ones, I only have a few left of those. I don't like those ones. The black ones work really well. I've used these forever. No issues. My tray was full, I think pretty much, so I've lost some over the years, and that happens. The purple ones were mostly the ones that broke. This has a nice hinge. The purple one's kind of a little weaker, so those have broken over the years, but these work great. Just refill, save yourself, save the environment. All those good things. And much cheaper and just fill. Depending on how much coffee, there's 2 of us drinking coffee, so sometimes it's like a week that I have to fill this, but I could have went one more week, I think, without filling this up. It's about halfway gone, so it just depends on how much coffee you drink. It smells really good. It's a different flavor because it's like the fruity, construction vehicles, fruity, but then you got that little bit of a cakey in there, like basically a donut smell. I need to look up how they flavor coffees. Anybody just want to tell me something to look it up? How would you flavor coffee? Do they do that in the roasting season part of it? Like before they do it all, they just kind of pour like an oil over it or something? I don't know. So, all right, coffee is filled for the week. Okay, I love my linen refresher that I made myself. The best thing ever. Who would have thought? I mean, yes, we all thought, because you know what? There's a whole shelf and aisles full of air fresheners and everything else, and I know they're all chemical sprayed in the air. So rarity that I buy one. I did have bought things over the years, definitely have. Not saying I would, but after I realized, you know what? These are just not good. So, but this is great because it's just essential oils, alcohol, and water. That's it. That's all we put in here, and you find a good scent you like. It's good. So I bought one on Amazon, or bought some at Aldi, and they were my favorite, absolute favorite. Still think those are really, really good. But I got a little bit different one, and it's okay. It's not as amazing as that one, but it's still fairly good. So it has a bunch of different flavors, scents on it. So I will use that. We just mix it up. It's good. And so I'm going to spray it on my furniture because you know what? It makes the whole downstairs smell great. All right, into my bedroom. Yay, out there's done. Vacuum's rolling, and then I'll spray my bedroom here. I already cleaned my shower, but just clean the bathroom up, and then we'll get making food today because we got a lot of stuff to make. So let me just refresh the bed. Okay, here's my 24 non-scratch, zero scratch sponges. So we should have these. Like I said, I think it was like $11 or $12, I think. Where Scrub Daddies, you get what, six in a pack. So is it going to be amazing? I don't know. I'll let you know. We'll let you know because we'll have to mark how long it takes us to go through all this stuff, right? So I'm just going to fill my little container here. We got tons. Oh my goodness. Tons. All right. Alright, so now I'm just going to clean off the countertops here. It doesn't even feel like a Monday when you like, you know, you got done with everything real quick and you're like, okay, time is time. When you want it to go longer. No, it's good. No, I'll be glad to get done here because I do have a lot of food to make. Even though we went shopping, there is a need to make stuff. So I need to make bread. I need to make bagels. I bought some at the store to kind of get me through, and then I grabbed a couple. I like hid the bread in the refrigerator, so I had some for Greg's lunch today. And then now I'm like, I need to make some more for the week. So having that, and kids have been asking for bagels. So I need to make that today, and we're gonna figure out dinner, all the good things. Let's just wipe this up. That's the rebel in me. I like using the plug-in vacuum in here because it sucks up, you know, it sucks up so much better than the robot one does, but the robot one does its job, so I'm feeling like that today. Let's do that, and then I'll just put I'm waiting for this. I guess it's kind of dry. I'll put that on the bed too. All right, update on Maxine and the thunder jacket. So we're having lots of opportunities this week because it is just raining. So what I found is we put on her and she will sit at least with it. So like, oh, hold on. Like before, she would just run all over the house, panic, scratch on people, do these things. She still wants to be held with somebody. So she goes to the calmer children that will sit for a while. And she'll sit, like last night we were watching The Chosen, it was pouring and we had her little outfit on, and she sat with, Jensen is who she sat with, and so she was still panting like crazy, but she sat there, and then she eventually calmed down. So, thunder jacket, a win. It's not like a miracle thing where you put it in and they're like, oh my goodness, they're stopping completely. No, it's a slower type thing, but it seems to be working for her. So she's, I can tell when she's a little extra tired, like today, because she, spends most of her time panicking because of the storm, which is terrible. So thunder jacket for the win. I was even thinking like 4th of July fireworks. I'm like, if we go see fireworks, I'm like, we'll have to turn all our sound machines on, make the fans on, turn the TV on, shut the windows, obviously the blinds, all this stuff to make some noise for her in the house, but we might not get to do that. So, okay, is mine done? I think I'm done cleaning. Yes, we're doing the vacuuming. My bedding, I just got wait for my pillowcases. I've got a load of laundry in there. So I think we can go in the kitchen and start on all the food. Why don't we do that for a Monday? Okay, let's go in the kitchen. All right, extra noisy here because I'm gonna have the vacuum going on here. So I'm gonna start on I'm doing a lot of bread. So I'm gonna do bread dough. We're gonna do bagels, and then we're also gonna do pizza. A different pizza recipe, and I'll explain that when I do it. So let's do the bread one. This is yummy and delicious. I'm gonna make 4 loaves, because I don't have to do it again like in a day from now. So I can have it, if you put it in a Ziploc bag, close it, take the air out, it'll stay good, or a plastic container, it works. So into here, what is my recipe? It is 2 cups of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and like go put that in there first, and then you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of oil, and 4.5 cups of flour. It works, it's easy, throw it into your bread machine. Awesome. You don't even have to do anything. random tidbits of information here because that's what I'm about, right? I have had chapped lips for weeks. We went to the, remember that shark tooth hunting Greg and I did at Minnesota? It's been probably 3 weeks because we haven't gone in a while. For whatever reason, it was overcast, or no, it was sunny. It was sunny, but it was like perfect. It was cloudy. It was sunny and cloudy at the same time. It wasn't like 100% Florida hot sun like usually is. So we had a little bit of cloud cover once in a while, but my lips, after that day, they got like either windburned or chapped. And I have not been able to get them to not be chapped. And so I pretty much use every single day, Burt's Bees. Every single day, every day of my life. And then Miss Barbara got us some, and it was a different brand, but it was still worked really good. I can't remember what the name was, started with No-Nos or New-Nos or something. So anyway, so then I went back to Carmex. Carmex is usually the champion for, you know, burning lips. But I feel like it did nothing. It worked, and then there was like one day where I was like, okay, they're better, and then I went back to my other stuff, and then it went chapped again. And so I was like, oh, so I went on Amazon and looked up best lip healer balm ever. This is O'Keeffe's Lip Repair. It was for 2 of these. They're a little bit thinner than chapstick. It was $6. So I feel like that's the winner because the Carmex, I put it on and I feel like my lips, feel like they're just coated and cool. Like it's like, okay, it doesn't feel like it penetrates. So this, I feel like it penetrates real good. Probably like Blistex. I haven't used Blistex either in a while. So this is actually very good. So I am hopeful. It's like a candy cane, like a mint peppermint. Cooling. I feel like this is good. So I'll keep you posted, but O'Keeffe's. That's the stuff for my lips right now because they are feeling awful. They're not cracking. They just feel they feel sunburned. You know, sunburned blood. Lips feel sunburned. That's how they feel. So, okay, bread is in the oven. Let's do bagels now because that was the next thing on there. So for my bagels, we add in here, I'll do double. Well, so this part, do you do double? This will be the time the kids don't eat it and then I have so much. We're gonna be hopeful. Do we double? Then we don't have to do this again this week? Ah, the pressure. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, let's just do one batch. It'll give me 8. So give me, see, this is the part I question my life. I'm gonna do one batch because I'm gonna have all the bread. So if I have to make more, I can. This is 3½ cups of flour, 2 teaspoons yeast, 1½ tablespoons of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1⅓ cup of water. Mix it in here. It works great. It's delicious and yummy. Everybody loves it. Very simple. It's like the bread dough. When you find a good recipe, you're like, why even switch to anything else? So, all good. Getting closer and closer, so it's harder to talk. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some pizza dough. Now, I've been making the same pizza dough forever. The kids love it. They absolutely love it. Now, my husband, he likes a good old Little Caesars pizza, and I don't mind a Little Caesars pizza, and I know my kids don't mind a Little Caesars pizza crust, and it's different than my homemade crust. So, what is the difference? I don't know. I gotta figure that out. I've always just made the one recipe I had. So, today I'm gonna dive into someone online that has a mock Little Caesars crust. Will it be the same? I don't know. I'm gonna save it, make it, and then we'll see how it is, but I'd like to try because I've been making mine forever and we love it. We absolutely love it. But my husband, he likes a good store one and that's okay. Or Little Caesars one. So I'm like, let me try to make that pizza crust. So we're gonna see. So this one is, who's the recipe? Epic Cooker. So we'll just kind of see. I've already put my water in here. They use garlic powder and salt, which I have garlic powder and salt, so I'm just gonna add that whole thing here. 3 teaspoons, I feel like that's a lot. They put garlic powder in Little Caesars dough? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. Flour, we'll mix it up and just see. I don't know. We'll just have to, just have to let you know. Alright, so today I'm just gonna make a lot of dough. So this is the one. Now I'm gonna make my bread dough or my pizza dough and put this in here. I'm just gonna do a bunch of bread. I have just scaled down my version for one crust. So I'm gonna make that. We'll see if anybody says any difference. That's the key. Like, oh, I made a copycat Little Caesar. Let's see if they like it. Well, let's make mine, and just won't tell them, but I'll put Italian seasoning in mine. See if anybody notices. So mine, I'm just doing regular. Let me get my water here. Okay, so this one, a small version, is 1 1/3 cup of water. You need 1 1/2. Got my lid. 1 1/2 tablespoons of sugar. And then yeast is going to be 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. 2. Alright. And then it's 1 1/2 of vegetable oil. And then salt. I'm going to add garlic salt in this though instead. Italian seasoning. So we'll have those little flakes in there. So again, it's the mind game. Let's see if anybody notices. And then we'll do half a teaspoon of this. And 3 1/2 cups of flour. Do that before the vacuum gets over here as well. All right, today's just gonna be the baking day. Isn't Wednesday's our baking day? It's gonna be today. All right, there's my pizza dough. So I'm gonna see, let's just see if maybe it's the temperature I'm cooking at. Who knows? Let's put this in here. So I got so much in here rising up. Okay, so now when you're making that, then you're like, I gotta make breadsticks because breadsticks are awesome. These are so good. I made these, if I make just the regular batch, they're gone before the kids even like wake up. And then I doubled it and they went through, I think I quadrupled it and they ate. That's just how good they are. So I'm gonna make a bunch because you know what? We can have them for the week as well. And I guess today is baking day. I don't know what we'll do the rest of the week if today's gonna be baking day, but that's okay. So I'll just double mine. So I'm gonna need 2 cups of water. So we're gonna add 2 cups. My little bread machine here is working. And then you're gonna add in there 2 tablespoons of yeast because I'm doubling mine. 2 tablespoons of yeast and then a teaspoon of sugar. These are all coated with stuff. We got 1, 2. Okay, 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then salt and oil. 2 tablespoons of oil, so I'm at 4. So I like to mix that a little bit beforehand before I add all the flour. That's gonna be 4 or 5 cups of flour. Okay, when that's mixing up, I went to put my sugar away and I forgot I'm gonna make homemade chocolate syrup. This is way better than Hershey's. Kids absolutely love it now that I have an abundance of. Cocoa powder, I'm gonna make double the batch. So for about a quart jar, you're gonna do a cup of cocoa, 3 cups of sugar, and I say a pinch of salt. I think I skip all that most of the time. And then 2 cups of water. Let it come to a boil it for a few minutes, and then it's 220 degrees it's gotta get to. And then vanilla, and you got Hershey's chocolate syrup. And it's delicious, and because that stuff at the store is like $10 for 2 of them. That's a lot. You can make a whole bunch from scratch. Let me turn this back on. All right, so everything is rising up everywhere. I was able to leave the breadsticks in the dough machine because it has its own ferment setting, which is nice, so it heats it up. This is coming to a boil here, and then let me see what else I was gonna do today. Okay, bread is all gonna be risen. It's gonna be time to do stuff with it. So this is the bread dough. So I'm gonna take and divide it. Where's my chopper? We're gonna divide it up into 4 pieces and roll it out into, like if you roll it out and then roll it up and pinch the sides together, you got good bread dough. So this will be great. And then we'll let it rise a little bit in the pan and stick in the oven, bake it, be delicious. I might use my scale and do a little bit of that way just to kind of see. What do we, I'm just gonna stick to it just to see like what's my total dough and then what I gotta do. So that's 18, 22. That one's a little bit less. Oh, that's 20, that's actually more. All right, these aren't too far off. Actually 20, okay, that's actually not too bad. Do you have to be exact? I don't care. I think I'm gonna need some little bit of flour. Okay, let's just roll this out. We'll make bread into the pans. I'm gonna let them rise in the oven just for easy. Okay, next one's gonna be bagels. So let's get this dough out nice and squishy. Divide it up, roll them out. I've got my bread in the oven, turned on, baking. The water is boiling for the bagels. I'm gonna do the breadsticks now. I was like, okay, I was gonna wait for a minute, but I'm just gonna get it going. These don't have to be perfect. They're delicious regardless. They don't have to look perfect. I realize that they are just good in general, but I'm trying to roll them and make them somewhat looking nice. Okay, bread dough came out. That's looking great over there. I just put the bagels in and I put the breadsticks in. Those in the oven baking. And then we'll take those out. I'm gonna get the pizza dough and kind of put that in a pan so we can bake that and get that pre-done. And then I'll make it when it gets closer to dinner. Okay, bread turned out really good. It's one of those things that doesn't have to be perfection because it still turns out good. Like, I put it in there, then turn my oven on, so you're gonna have issues like, you know, that on the side. But that's okay, because like, it's not about the site. Like, they love this. This is bread that everybody enjoys. Do you guys all enjoy the homemade bread?
Yes.
There you go. I didn't even pay him to do that. They like it. So now we'll have some. Hopefully we'll see how long it lasts this week. So bagels are in, breadsticks. We're doing chores. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of extra chores, things like that. I'm gonna do the pizza dough here. The crust is looking good. I'm gonna put a little bit of this down because I know they put that down to keep it from sticking. We'll roll it out and then we'll bake it at a real high temperature so it's crispy and see if we can mimic it. This one is the, oh, that is nice. This one is the one from Little Caesars. The mock Little Caesars. And my pizza crust smells delicious, nice and full of the spices. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I'll bake these as well. We're just rotating through the oven. All right, bagels came out. They're looking great, so they're perfect. Very good. Ooh, that's tasty. So I've got my pizza crust in the oven, and I've got one more tray of breadsticks, and I'll put some butter on there. Ooh, that's good. Okay, not bad. bagels. Delicious. Look at those. Very yummy. So Autumn's gonna vacuum. Maddie's giving Maxine a bath. Jensen's outside doing cleaning upside, blowing stuff, all good things. Okay, she's gonna vacuum away. I'm gonna get these out of the oven and rub them with the breadsticks with butter, garlic powder, and then I'll put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Okay, my pizza crust is not sticking to the pan. The other one is a whole lot. So we'll see how it is. They'll sit as the day goes on, and then we will make pizzas on it for later. All right, so busy a little bit of time there. The kids were down doing chores, getting things done. So I am taking the bread here and just put it in Ziploc bags so it stays nice here. Bagels are good. The breadsticks look delicious. These are good. I just kind of scraped that one piece that was sticking to the bottom. But I think we're looking very good now. So all I'll do tonight is make the pizza, and that's it. Yes, life's good. I was gonna make snack mix, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that today. So it'll be all good. So now this afternoon, I'm gonna take a break and go do a little bit of stuff for school with the kids, show them what they gotta do, and then edit a little bit, make dinner, easy day. All right, Maddie's watching Love Comes Softly series over there on the TV. I am gonna finish up. I've been editing today. Now I'm gonna start on dinner. It's getting close to dinner. I'm gonna make the pizzas. We're gonna use our pizza squeeze, cheese, and whatever toppings I can find in the refrigerator, make some delicious pizzas and cut. I'm gonna cut one like a quarter off for Jensen so I can do his cheese. Okay, pizza is done. It looks great. So I'm gonna leave it in here because they're waiting for everybody to get home. But here's the cheese. Looking good. Here is the other one. That butter, we add butter stuff around the outside. Everyone like the crust is so good. When I worked at Hungry Howie's, they always squeezed basically a fake butter on the outside. It's like popcorn butter. It's gotta be the same thing. And then what I did, as you know, we're always trying to eat better. Sometimes, not all the time, but today I am. So I cut up the burger here and I put some onions and peppers in there. Got leftover lettuce and tomatoes. I'm gonna put it in here and make myself a nice little burgery cooked salad. I'm like, this is good for me. So that's a lot there. I'll have some of that tomorrow too. And put cheese on it and some pepper rings. That's it for my stuff. So I'm done. They're gonna have this. I got marinara sauce out with the breadsticks. That's gonna be dinner tonight. So we're finished. I'm gonna enjoy it. It didn't rain all day here. Greg said it poured rain where he's at, where normally it's the opposite here. So I am gonna get my editing done and then get a walk in tonight and swim before the storm comes because it's moving up. It's now to a 40% depression, tropical depression. So it's getting there. So I'm gonna take it while we can. So, all right, you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I'll see you again tomorrow. Come back. All right.